Hi everyone, it's my hope that you are well. It's such a beautiful day that we have today, and we thank God that we are alive today. I believe from wherever you are and watching us from, it is because that you are alive today and you've been given another chance to keep on doing what you do, and of course to keep on following up and going on with life. And of course you have the strength and you have the health, you have the peace that the Lord has given you. And it's a beautiful day, and I believe you're busy somewhere doing what you love doing, or maybe in your businesses, in your jobs, and whichever place that you are in, and whichever county you are in today and you're watching us from. Many greetings or much greetings from MJ. And today it is the workshop that is here with us, and I thank God that the workshop is back. And I'm not alone today, and I not only have one visitor or even a guest today, but I have many guests. I have visitors in the workshop today, and indeed it's a panel, and we are ready to talk some 1, 2, 3 things, and I believe that at the end of the show you'll have learned a lot. Today I am in Kiambu County, and here in Kiambu County there is a lot that is happening, but because I'm not alone, I want to introduce my guests today and my panel today. And not only introducing them, after saying hi, we will go deep, we will dig deep and talk about what has brought us here and why we are here today talking with you. Yes, I am in CareTech in Kiambu County, CareTech Medical Limited, and it's a facility that is here. It is giving back to the society, and of course I don't want to talk much because the MD or the owner of the facility is here with us, and I want to give her the chance to talk to us and tell us why CareTech, how did CareTech start, and how much has it been of importance to the society and the impact that it has to the society so far. And if you did not know that CareTech is there, yes, it exists and it is helping many so far. Madam Jane, welcome to the show. This is the workshop with Mary Joseph or MJ. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for having us today.
Yes.
It is a beautiful day.
Yes.
And it's a month of mental health
Yes.
awareness.
Yes.
And we really celebrate being a month
Yes.
that we see so many of us
Yes.
who are not aware about this illness.
Yes.
I'm Jane Bogwa,
Mm-hmm.
the beginner,
Yes.
or rather one of the directors of CareTech Medical.
Mm-hmm.
The other director is my husband. He's not with us today.
Mm-hmm.
And I celebrate this month
Mm-hmm.
with everybody.
Wow.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm married,
Yes.
I have two children.
Mm-hmm.
CareTech began the year 2014, around the month of May.
Ah, nice.
We've been there so for the last 9 or 10 months,
Mhm.
10 years, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been treating people with alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
drug and mental health disorders
Mm-hmm.
for that long.
Mm-hmm.
We've done a capacity of between 1,200
Mm-hmm.
patients since we started.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a huge number
Yeah.
compared to the people who are suffering down there.
Mm-hmm.
So being the month of awareness,
Yes.
we encourage so many people to come out
Yes.
and get help.
Mm-hmm.
We've realized that most of our patients,
Yeah.
majority of them have been men
Mm-hmm.
rather than women,
Mm-hmm.
because the number of women that we've dealt with, they are few.
Mm-hmm.
So we encourage most of women to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, having the stigmatization that we see in the society with
Mhm.
women
Mm-hmm.
is a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So we do hope that having this awareness and having us,
Yes.
this is going to be
Yes.
a starting point
Exactly.
of bringing people together.
That's so good. Madam Jane,
Yes.
let me just pause a little bit
Yes.
because we are many today. I can see another smile here.
Yes.
Now I have another madam in the team, Marion.
Yes.
It's not the first time that, of course, we've interacted, and I want you to say hi to the people. Maybe I've told them you're Marion, and maybe it's not, but I know you're Marion, so tell them you're Marion who, and who are you in CareTech? What do you do in CareTech? And then later, questions will follow.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Hi, dear viewer. Welcome to CareTech Medical. My name is Marion Masharia. I am a clinical psychologist. That is what I do on a day-to-day,
Mhm.
impacting lives of fellow human beings. I am very passionate about what I do because my job is very simple: to restore hope and freedom from addiction and mental disorders. Yes, thank you very much.
It's very good. And on my right hand, there is a gentleman with us. Just introduce yourself to the viewer. Who are you? And especially what's your name and what do you do in Caretech?
All right. Thank you. I want to welcome you in a very special way
Thank
to
you.
Caretech Medical and Rehabilitation Center, together with our viewers today. My good names are Samuel Mburu. I'm the clinical manager in charge of treatment here. I'm hoping we are going to learn and interact today.
I love that. Your good name.
Yes.
I just love that. He just loves his name and it's a good name. So do you love your name that much that you can just say it's a good name and a sweet name? I love it. That's very good. So back to you, Madam Jane.
Yes.
Now that we know that you are the vision bearer and you're the one who started Caretech Medical Limited together with your husband now, but we'll deal with you now because it is you we have here and we know at the moment. Why did you come up with the idea, or how did Caretech come into your mind, or what did you have in mind while bringing up or even coming up with Caretech? What was the vision, or what did you want to achieve
Yes,
with Caretech? Because I believe it's a story coming from somewhere.
exactly.
Yes.
While ago, I lost my brother on alcoholism, and it came to my mind that alcoholism, it's a disease with every family, and having to bear that I lost him on this disease, that currently in the government of Kenya it have been accepted. I decided to go back to university. I had done undergraduate as a social worker. I decided to do public health. In UK, public health, you can have different modules. So I did in addiction part of it. And I decided to do addiction. And after completion, I decided enough is enough. Let me come back home. I came back home and decided to start this home, which I'm very passionate with because as we learn this home, every day I see him. Every time a patient finishes his 90 days or her 90 days program, I see my brother passing the gates. So I'm very happy about that.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. It's a passion. And it's you just came up with it so that you can help another person.
Exactly.
That another person not go, or a life will not be terminated, or will not come to an end as your brother. Because you save a life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I wish I knew what I know today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
And so far you have saved so many lives.
So many lives.
So many people who have been into addiction.
Exactly.
Like how many have passed through? Okay, how many have you been? Okay, just roughly a rough number. Of course, those years are many.
It's so many.
Yeah.
I think it's between 1,200.
Wow.
Between 1,200.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
around that figure.
Wow.
Yes.
They have come out of this gate okay, mentally okay, and free from addiction.
Yes.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great. I can only say God bless you for that because
Thank you so much.
you're giving back to the society and
Yes.
you're able to identify and be a blessing to very many families and many homes and
Yes.
many individuals. Eh?
Yes, and to add on to that, I would love to say that I've not done it alone.
Yeah.
My team here,
Wow.
and they're not only Marion and Samuel.
Yeah.
Samuel being the clinical manager.
Yes.
We've got other team,
Yeah.
other addiction counselors, other psychologists, and subordinate team. We've got a team of over 22 staff members who have been supportive of our belief,
Wow.
or rather of our dream.
Wow.
So we really appreciate them.
Wow.
Yes.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Over to you, Marion.
Yes.
Now, today we are tackling about addiction, and of course, as Madam Jane said, this month of May, it's a month that we always call it. It's a mental health awareness month, and we are just few days to the end of this month. But of course, end of May does not mean it is the end of mental health awareness.
Yeah.
It will still continue because that is why Caretech is here. Now, about addiction. I pose it to you, Marion and Samuel. Now, to many, what is addiction? And not only what is addiction, because many people know roughly what is addiction, because we know somebody is addicted to this and all that. But now, what is addiction? Because now you are talking from an experienced angle, an experienced person, and also medically, you know 1, 2, 3 things, and you've interacted with these people, and you are out there in the society. You are able to know whether we are just the people who are here are the only ones who maybe mentally they are okay or not, and even out there, the people you interact with. Do you view in the angle that you view things with? Are you able to see like out there? Ni wengi wako huko. It's not only those ones who are here. Now, from a medical perspective and an experienced person in this field, what is addiction and the causes of addiction, and how would you know that the person is not only addicted but mentally okay? Because there is a part of addiction and there is a part of mentally is not healthy. How are you able to know all this, and how are you able to tackle all this?
Thank you. That's a good question, and sometimes becomes very confusing for many of us, especially those who have not interacted with the high level of usage. However, maybe it's important for me to mention addiction is an illness or a disease, just like any other. You may imagine. And one thing about addiction is that it's chronic. Chronic, that is to say that it's ongoing. It's also progressive, meaning it gets worse over time. And also it is fatal. Fatal in the sense that it potentially leads to death. So someone with any form of addiction can get, either it can be chronic, it can be progressive, and it can be fatal. Let me demonstrate, or maybe break it down for that person who's watching and wondering how comes it's a chronic progressive disease. Addiction, it's in many forms. It can be chemical, it can be processed. The majority of us are used to chemical. Unaona mtu anavuta sigara, could see someone staggering. That one is very common. Yes.
Dawa za kulevya.
My daughter at times will tell me when they're watching TV, babanga ni yule anaanguka. That is easier to pick. However, maybe for the viewers and also for you, I would like to, by starting, to start by asking, how many times do you use your phone in a day? Even now as you're watching, how many times are you tapping on your phone? You are checking message.
Of course.
You are checking on your social status, WhatsApp and all that. That dependence in itself.
In fact, the phone has become part of life. Without the phone a day, it's hard for a day to end just like that.
Exactly. And many people would say it's an extension of my own life. So it can either be a chemical or a behavioral problem. Now, for some people who have used drugs or have behavior problems, they may have any other underlying mental health condition, which Marion maybe can expound on, because she specializes on mental health condition. Maybe Marion, you can come in before I proceed.
That's very okay. Thank you, Samuel. So yes, you were asking about addiction and mental health on a whole spectrum.
Exactly.
Just to clarify, like Samuel said, when it comes to addiction, addiction is the major way in which mental health conditions camouflage. So the minute someone is addicted, even as we are doing screening and assessment, most of the time you will find that there's something else. There is an underlying condition. And when I'll be sharing more about what brings about addiction in the courses, I will also talk about that. So generally, like Samuel said here, mental health basically is a very simple question is, how do you take care of your mental health? By mental health, we're looking at your psychological bit and on your mind generally. Because as human beings, we tend to take care of many other aspects. If it is in the family, the parents will enforce the children, go to school, study. It's all about books. If it's the parents, it's more of finances, hassles here and there. And then on the physical bit, definitely, if eating, exercise, and all those kind of things. But you will come to realize that mental health, sometimes we neglect the psychological bit and we focus mostly on our feelings, our emotions, and our behavior. Yes. So part of what we do here in CareTech, we also tackle other underlying conditions. For example, we may have bipolar mood disorder, schizophrenia, anxiety, just to mention ADHD, and this may camouflage in form of addiction, or they may come out as a result of being addicted to a substance. Yes.
All right. Now I have a question, and especially these questions I'm asking on behalf of the viewer.
Okay.
There's somebody who would be addicted, and then turns to be mentally is not okay, or does it start from mentally not being okay, then to addiction, or addiction to mentally not okay?
All right. Thank you for that question. It can happen either way. One of the causes of addiction is an underlying mental condition. What do I mean by this? As a human being, I could be having something, a disturbance that is psychological, but I do not understand it. Because even in our basic education, like in Kenya, the 844 system, perhaps. Which system did you do, Madam J? 844. You also did 844. All right. I hear there was a system back then before that, and now we have even CBC. In the curriculum, we were taught so much on physical illnesses. I remember I learned about diabetes in school. I remember learning about hypertension, but I do not remember learning about addiction. I don't remember learning about bipolar and the like. So what happens, I'm very aware. If I'm diarrhea, it's malaria. If I'm having some muscle pains, it's typhoid. And I know what to do. But now I do not know what happens to me if I'm lacking sleep, if I'm not being able to feed properly, if I am not able to do my daily tasks very well, if I'm experiencing anxiety, I do not know what that is. So basically, when it comes now to the question, the mental health, what comes first? Is it the addiction or the mental health? It's a question like where we ask what comes first. Between, is it the egg that came first or the head?
Or they just emerge. They just emerge, all of them. It's like, all of them are just ziko pamoja. You know, which is which.
So it could happen in that way. So one, perhaps I was born as a very normal child, but with time I started developing some symptoms which I do not understand. As a result, I start coping using a substance. Could be alcohol. I could smoke marijuana, and people who smoke marijuana will tell you that it makes you relax. Even apart from cigarette, it really makes you relax. When it comes to alcohol, it could be soothing the mental health condition, but you do not know. So with time, you realize when I drink alcohol, I feel nice. Nikivuta hii bangi, na feel niko fiti, niko sawa. And so I will get acquainted to that, not knowing that I'm treating something out of that, and it is also predisposing me to the problem. And with time, I like someone was saying, you know, addiction, while it is a disease, it's because basically it alters the normal functioning of the brain. The brain has 4 key chemicals, and I would not like to tap into that right now. But basically what happens is that when you use the substance, whichever it is, alcohol, miraa, whatever, mention it, the chemicals get altered. Some become depleted and others become overproduced. So there's a form of imbalance in your brain, and automatically it affects your whole system and your functionality generally. So for some people, it is the mental condition that has led to addiction. And so when you come to us, once you start treating addiction, we do the screening and assessment professionally, and we're able to actually diagnose, and you may realize, actually, the problem was not the drinking, it was this. But for some people now, it is the addiction that brings about the mental health condition. I will give an example. Allow me to use marijuana. In the streets, wanahitaji some
weed.
Tunaita weed. Na kishash, umesikia kishash? Kishash kwa bash. So what happens? I may start smoking marijuana and I will enjoy, because every drug has a reward, and it's the high feeling. And the feeling of high is it's a good feeling, yes. And so because our brain, the way we are wired, we like pain, we like pleasure, and we avoid pain. I will keep using it. And I will get acquainted to this drug. So wakati mwili yangu itazoea hii marijuana, and we'll talk about it later with Samuel here when we'll be talking about how to look out whether it is now a problem to you. What happens is, like marijuana, it affects a chemical in the brain called serotonin. In the beginning, it is overproduced. So what happens, you start seeing some changes, like you eat a lot. People who smoke marijuana eat a lot. Anapika ugali, anakula hiyo sembe, hashibi, anakula sana, increase appetite.
Too much.
Marijuana also increases alertness. Like most people, especially those people who do jobs, especially online, because of the screen. For some people nowadays with the economy, you have to have a side hustle. So sometimes you're also working at night and you need that concentration. It brings about an alertness. And for you will feel, this marijuana inanisaidia, it's helping me actually. And actually someone can attest, most of the people, like a client will tell you, they don't understand how it's a problem because it's usually a solution to them. Because you feel inanisaidia. It's like back in the village, our mothers, what do? They're so addicted to tea. You know, the caffeine
and
tea.
failure to take tea,
Headache. Yes. Can you relate to that?
Yes.
So it's the same thing. So with time, you're using it and you think it's giving you a solution. But with time, it was marijuana has the chemical element. It's called tetrahydrocannabinol, THC. Just to tetrahydrocannabinol. So that is the chemical element. By the way, every drug, that is what Sam was saying. There are different kinds of addiction. It can be behavioral. It can be in addiction. Now what we treat is the chemical dependence. Because alcohol iko na ethanol, marijuana iko na THC, miraa iko na caffeine. So every drug iko na chemical, na hiyo chemical ndio sisi tunatumia, ndio inakufanya kuwe high and whatever you feel. So with time, umeacha fegi. So marijuana with time, what happens? You remember I was using it as a solution to my problem. With time, the serotonin in the brain is depleted. The brain stops making its own chemicals because it knows there's something else that is doing a better job than my own chemical. So, with time, you start slowing down. The sleep that was there, inaacha kupotea. The concentration now, it goes kabisa and it starts affecting your memory. You start developing what you call psychotic symptoms. You can have hallucinations. Unasikia masauti zinakuongelesha mazee. Sometimes unaanza kuona mavitu, it's audio visual.
Alikuwa anatembea tu vizuri, anaanza kupanda mlima, anahema.
Hakuna mlima.
Na hakuna mwingine amekimbizwa. Unashangaa anakimbizwa. Na hakuna watu lakini anaona kerende. Tena kerende. Imemkimbiza na anafiatua anaenda. Na hakuna looking around you cannot see anything but anaona anakimbizwa. So shida
unaona inapaswa na hiyo interference because kuna vile the way we are created biologically there is the way the brain should function but once you give this chemical inaita THC whatever it is ina interfere na inakuja na consequences because the body ina lack your elements and worse to it is that most of these when you have this problem it also affects your functionality like you're not able to eat well so mwili haipati the proper nutrients that kusaidia in hata brain and all that communication in the body systems and all that so eventually these psychotic symptoms zinaanza kukick in huko kwa street wanaweza sema wewe ni mwenda wazimu labda wengine wanasema zimemrarukia ameanza kuchapa ameanza kufiatu vitu kama hizo na ndio umekana wao ndio kuko background so well background ndio kuko so Kufiatu is like now losing your mind. The way she's saying now somebody starts talking to themselves. Unaanza kudance na hakuna ngoma. Unaanza kufanya vitu out of the norm.
Na wakisema hapo zone.
That's a zone. It's where now when you get high, you know now there's the way right now you are feeling. And then there's that highness that you get when you use the drug. And let me tell you how you get high. Basically, the brain has a chemical called dopamine. And naturally, you should feel high. But the brain gives you the healthy high. But the drugs give you a more high. For example, today, Madam Jane, if someone bought you your favorite dress, a dress that you have looked forward to having, and someone gives it to
you
you.
get excited.
You get very
extremely excited.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
Let me talk to you, MJ.
Yes.
Leo umepost ngoma pale YouTube.
Yes.
And in 1 hour you have about 1 million views. What happens to you?
The body language.
You see,
You
you
feel
get
that?
excited.
You feel good.
Somebody, today, when you get home after a very long day of working with clients that you love very much, you get home and your wife has set up a candlelit dinner in your house. How is that for you? How is that for you?
The experience feel like heaven.
And it have
Just look at it.
what happened before.
Exactly.
I'm imagining that environment.
Mhm.
I'm already salivating
You
for
see?
that.
Look at him. So there's a sense of euphoria,
Yes.
a euphoric feeling.
Uh-huh.
That is the normal high that you should experience.
Uh-huh.
But now when you take the drugs, because of that chemical, in a lead to overproduction of that dopamine. So the high becomes more. So hapo sasa zikiwa hapo before it comes back to reality, hapo ndo inaitangwa zone. Niko zone. Wengine wanakwambia na maid inajisikiza.
Na ingine kuyoyoma.
Kuyoyoma. Yes. I think that black you are. Unarelate na hii story. Najua unaelewa hizi vitu. Anyway, so
Unaita
back to
euphoria.
Euphoria. That
Okay.
euphoric, yeah, and then the brain has a euphoric
Of
recall.
course.
It doesn't forget that feeling.
Yes.
So hata next time you want to smoke that marijuana, alafu ujidanganya ati uvute, useme nini ukunywe soda. Hiyo highness haitakuja. Brain inaelewa hii yenye ilikuwa na the chemical. And that is how addiction starts growing. Inaitwa tolerance. Pole pole tu inaanza increase. That euphoric recall, the brain ina record. Our brain is a very powerful tool. So back to what I was talking about.
Yes.
So it can be either way. Addiction can lead to the mental health problem, or the mental health problem leads you to addiction. Yeah.
Now I pose another question.
Yes.
There is this person who is addicted because of a substance use, and there is this other person, and these people are in the society. Maybe somebody was going through a tough time in life, and then maybe it went overboard. Hakuweza contain, and then you find somebody unasikia sijui anajikatakata, wengine wanajuma, like so many things mtu anafanya ama like hata tuseme ni a lady ama maybe anybody unapata watoto, like there was a time nilisikia mtu mmoja aligongesha mtoto kwa ukuta na ndani zitakaenda akakufa. Mwingine juzi ati mtu anaanza kukuna mtoto intestine, anafika tu anaanza kukuna mtoto na anaanza kukula. Okay, like in tufike hapa. What is the problem? Because now huyu kuna mtu hapa hajatumia bangi, hajatumia okay, si na si dawa za kulevya, but mind either aliwaza vitu zilijaa kawaza zikapita, because huyu mtu pia mentally hayuko sawa. Kwa sababu yes, when you are dealing with somebody who is suffering from addiction and everything, there's some and especially is not okay mentally, kuna mwingine ataletwa even here caretaker. Mind imeenda yani hata hasira na anything just irritates. Kama hivi it just irritates na anaweza gonga mtu na anything.
Okay.
Now how do we handle these people? How would you know this person hayuko sawa? This is not normal. This is not okay. This is not normal. Huyu mtu hayuko sawa. Tuki rehabilitate wenye wabangi na hata huyu kitu hayuko sawa.
How do they get help?
Now before hata wafike mahali tupatana na mtu kwa barabara anachukua makaratasi ama ameanza kutoa nguo ama ameanza kuchapa watu, like ijaenda hapo extreme, but you know even the extreme it starts from somewhere. So this part of starting, how do we know as a society if somebody is not okay here?
Okay.
Interesting.
Yes.
I think I can answer that.
Yeah.
And one of the ways, I think in that case, it's very, for me, when I watched that video, it was very traumatizing. Watching that a mother, and you can imagine the level of animosity applied there. However, it can be very confusing.
Yeah, and those are just a few.
So those are
Just mentioned a few of so many weird things that are happening, you know?
Yeah. You see, mental health is for everyone. Today the way we are seated here, will be looking very well.
Yeah.
But out there, I'm going through some battles at home. Because we're looking at the way I think about myself, how I feel, and what I do. Now, mostly these cases are surrounded in relationships. Most of them, they are relationships. relationship. And you see when there are unresolved issues in a relationship, they're more likely to ventilate out to a more or a safer object, or maybe like a child in this case. Yes. And you see, this is because there's a lot of pent up emotion. Amefungia ndani. Ni kama hii chupa. Kiweka maji ijae. What is more likely to happen? Italipuka at some point, isn't it? Sasa huyu mtu amefungia vitu ndani sana kwa muda mrefu, unresolved issues. Sasa ikifikia mahali anaona this is too much to deal with, and now they because it's either behavior, it's either emotional or psychological. Now the emotional part is their outburst of anger. The behavioral ni kenye tunaona anafanya. Tumeanzia kuona ameanzia kuambia watu na tutaonana mbinguni. Unajua? Ameanzia kupanga vitu, anaacha na kuambia wewe nimekuachia hii kikombe, wewe nimekuachia simu. Si unaona sasa, those are things you can see. Those are some of the signs you can see. But now there are also symptoms. What this person is complaining about. When they talk to us, let's listen. There's that power of active listening.
Yes, and a good example, Samuel, is yesterday during the news, Citizen News, there is a lady who came out. She came out saying that nobody saw me with my stress. And that is why I had to stab my child. And she was caught in the process of stabbing the second one. But the second one, as we are speaking, is in the hospital. But as she was speaking, alikuwa yeye mwenyewe amejistab hapa. So you can imagine, we were not, ati alisema, nyinyi hamkuwa mnaona niko na stress. Continue.
In fact, that's why I want us to know, because before it escalates to this point, what do we as a society? Because I believe there's an error somewhere. The society is not able to detect early enough when somebody has an issue, or it's piling up. By the time it escalates to now the real action, how do we know and how do we handle this before it gets to this? Is already dead. Is already you know?
Okay. Maybe before we get there, human beings, we are wired in a way that when we speak up what is in our mind, we're able to break it down. We're able to take control and charge of our own lives. We're able to render it less effective of our lives. But now here's the thing. Many people shy away from opening up, saying this is what I'm going through. We're living in an era where you're sharing with a friend and you're recorded. And it's on Facebook,
Twitter,
all those social media. So many people,
even a conversation.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Screenshots and poems.
Yes. So majority of people are held back by this. But this is what would encourage anyone who is out there. Let's try to be empathetic with people. And one of the worst things that it happens also to me, and it happens to everyone, that we tend to listen to reply. When you call someone, you ask them hi, they tell you imefika. You ask them what? M-Pesa imefika. You are just finding out how they are doing. How are you today? No, bado ijafika. They were just finding. But when we listen to people, people are more likely to feel, when people are heard and understood. They're more likely, that lady you're saying, if there was someone who listened and said, okay, what is going on? And just take a minute intentionally to listen. That how is your world? And, she went out. Maybe we would have found a solution. Not even by, not providing an advice, but just listening. We help the person process the emotion. So that is one thing I would encourage our viewers and anyone else who is out there wondering, how do I help a relative?
Can I add something to what you're saying?
Yes,
Still on that point. This is not even on the professional level, because like that, what you just shared is a problem of not speaking out. There's something that I've gotten to learn that really works, even in friendships, at the family level. By the way, it has to start at the family level. That in our families, are we able to encourage conversations? And sometimes the reason people don't speak out is because you actually know. If I tell my mom this atanijibu hivi, you actually have it at the back of your mind that if I tell this to my boss at work, this is what I'm going through, this is what I will be told. So you'd rather watch alikufe na shida yangu. I've learned a very simple phrase. When someone comes to talk to you about what they are going through, you can simply ask them, as I am listening to you,
Yes.
are you seeking an opinion
Yes.
or are you seeking to be heard?
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes I can come to you and I'm coming to tell you about what I'm going through.
Mm.
But then the things you tell me, they're really unnecessary and unhelpful. So I'll be like, I'll hold back.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I'm coming to talk to you because I really need intervention. Like Sam is saying, talking, there's the talk therapy. Sometimes just talking it out, freeing what you're going through is just therapeutic, and then you're back and you're able to really break down and look at things on your own eye. Yes, and then sometimes you want to be guided. So it's good, just ask someone, as you're sharing with me today, what are you seeking? Are you seeking an opinion or are you seeking to be heard? So when you tell me you're seeking to be heard, Sam is saying, listen actively. Leave whatever you are doing, give them the attention. Nowadays life is very busy, create that time. Sit down, even if it's over a phone call, if it's a WhatsApp call, whatever it is, just listen to that person and validate their feelings. Just that.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me add something,
Okay.
and this I'm addressing to my fellow men.
Yes.
Kuna hii scam mtaani.
Yes.
Kukanyagia. Hiyo ni scam.
Yeah,
That's what I want to talk about. Yeah, that's what I wanted to
There's
ask.
nothing like kanyagia story, you know? You're battling with issues.
Yes.
You know, sometimes there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Reaching out,
Yes.
you know, talking. I see that it's very easy. It almost comes natural for you to say,
Yeah.
me, I'm stressed up. You'll
Kakija.
go meet your friend, you know.
Salon.
But now, hii kukanyagia, it just brought problem
Yes.
to majority of, I don't want to generalize,
Yeah.
majority of us, especially men, in the sense that the aspect of self-medicating, kujificha kwa tei, kujificha kwa ndom, unajua, you go drink and you'll resolve the issues. However, there's another way. I believe there's another way of going around this issue. Because the more nakanyagia, ile chupa inaendelea kujaa tu for inajaa.
Na
To a point,
italipuka tu.
you'll not be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's a time bomb actually. So my message to my fellow men, let's reach out. I am also one of you. If you feel not comfortable talking to anybody, open up. Some of these, we are held by this belief system. If I open up, people will see me as a weak man.
What will the society say?
What will the
Yes,
But
the
at-
view. of
Yeah,
society.
exactly. It's not the society, it's all about you at this point.
Yeah.
So that is my message, and I like when I see men, even in seated together,
Yeah.
they're speaking up. Let's start this conversation. Let's not stigmatize people who are able to speak up. I mean, I'm also a counselor myself. I go for therapy, and it's my way of coping.
Yes.
You know, everyone in this life is going through a strain of living
Yes.
difficulties,
True.
and we are not immune. Maybe even our camera person there is also going through some struggles,
Yes.
but it's only by opening up.
True.
And that's why, because anything that goes into a system has to come out in a way. Either it's food in terms of food, information, everything that comes into your system will have to find a way of coming out. So when you suppress it, ukifungia ukikanyagia, alafu kunywa kate hiyo ongeze pale juu, nikaa unaongezea unamwagilia mafuta kwa moto. Sasa una imagine impact yake. You can imagine the impact. So one of the things I want to encourage whoever is watching, that let's learn to listen to people actively. Just be intentional to listen. That listening ear can help the other person change that mind. If they were intending to go and wanasema siku hizi kujipima weight. Kujipima weight ni to harm yourself. They might talk over the issue and you realize just by listening, they're able to find a resolve within themselves. That is very important. Let's learn to embrace also that everyone is going through a situation in life, and we cannot all cope the same way. We are gifted differently. We are unique. We have different personalities.
Yeah.
So let's try and listen. Actually, ndio tumepoa masikio kubwa. Unaona zangu kwenye ni kubwa. So masikio zinakuwa kubwa zaidi.
I never noticed.
Yeah, my ears are too big to listen more. So I would want everyone to reflect upon that. Kwa nini tuna masikio kubwa? Let's give those ears to people who around us, and we might find a lot of resolve in that.
Yes. Wow, thank you so much, Samuel, for remembering the boy child.
Yes.
They are forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I've got a friend called Pastor Jane. She is so much on that,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to congratulate you for
Oh,
remembering.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. And Pastor Jane, we'll make sure that very soon for our workshop, she will be here to talk about the boy child. Make sure the boy child, you're very much covered.
Yes.
We'll make sure Pastor Jane comes along in the next workshop so that she can tackle and talk about the boy child. Hata nyinyi msikie enyewe tumeshughulikiwa. Now, going back to you. Now there is this aspect of one person who is not talkative. Yeye haongeangi. Ananyamazia sasa ndio maybe unapata mtu finally amejihang. There's this other person that talks and talks and talks. Sasa wakati maybe akona or maybe he just talks everything. Every now and then he just talks kila kitu anaongeanga. Now between these people, this person ambaye amenyamaza sana anaweza fika mahali maybe fike sasa iko extremes. Haongei. Maybe unless now you are medically because you are experienced and you are a professional, you are able to detect this person. Hii kunyamaza sana. Hii hata kama huyu mtu generally amenyamaza, is no more. This other person na yeye ni talkative generally, lakini pia there is a talkative person utanote this is too much. This is hii imepita. Huyu mtu hata kama anaongeaga sasa hapa amepita. How are you with the society? Help the society to know now between mtu ambaye generally ni mnyamavu, lakini unafika mahali unaona hii sasa silence hii imepita. And this other person anaongeaga sana but this one now it's extreme. She's talking or he's talking too much. It's too much. Yeah. So how do we deal with this?
Okay, thank you. Maybe I get a sense you're talking about signs and symptoms that you can be able to identify.
Exactly.
Signs basically is what you can see.
Yes.
In terms of behavior, in terms of physical. Symptoms is what they complain about.
Yes.
You're saying someone who was very expressive.
Yes.
They can have a conversation and now they have keeping it to themselves. That is one of the signs that something is not going on. The isolated behavior. This person was bubbly, outgoing, and now they've got to a point hawataki shughuli mingi. Wako busy sana. Ukimpigia simu anakuambia baadaye because they're very busy and they're isolated. Something else. This other person we were saying, we call them calm and collected.
Yes.
They're introverted.
Yes, introverted.
They have their way of expressing themselves. They finding solitude. Now, they also have a way of expressing. There are those who write things down, and I encourage them. They would write things down. There are those people they find the closest friends they talk to most of the time. Let's try and encourage that. Now, going back to the question again, how do you identify? Because mostly we're able to see the behavior. Behavior change. Behavior is what you do or you avoid doing. There's the manner which we know this person. There's a way I know Manuel.
True.
Isn't it? There's a way I've known Mary.
Yes.
Now, there's some things I may start seeing now changing that may become a point of concern. Hapana. Interest zake zimeenda chini. Tulikuwa tunaongea sana kwa simu, siku hizi hata hataki message. That's an indicator, isn't it? So those changes you can be able to pick as a sign. Hii hakuna shida. Symptoms is what an individual complains about. When like they start saying, if Mary one day and Madam Jane, you hear me talking about negative about myself. You start hearing me talking about the negative about the world. Sipendi na watu. See, that is already telling something is wrong somewhere. It's ringing a bell. The negative belief on myself, the change in my way of thinking. I'm starting now seeing the world is against me. So you see now there's pessimistic view of the world. That could be a point of this person is going through a situation that needs help. And we can only help them to reach out. Sometimes it's not the person who is going through a situation that is able to reach out. It's the other people who are able to come in and say, we are concerned about ABCD, what is going on. But again, also confidentiality. Hatutaki tuongee maneno and then kesho kwa Twitter ndio ina trend. You know?
Because I think that's a fear of every
That's yes.
especially the introverts, they will fear na ikatoka. Yeah. Even the extrovert, anybody will mind na zikatoka. Yeah. I think.
But we can encourage that people to start speaking up.
True.
Or whoever you feel comfortable. Because you might not feel comfortable with a friend.
Very true.
Because a friend may not know how to deal with it.
Yes.
Or even family members.
Yeah.
Sometimes where I come from, the village, my aunt is very prayerful. Tell her you have a cold, she prays.
Wow.
Tell her you're feeling low, she tells you let's pray about it. That's how she can handle that situation. But you see, sometimes family members, they don't know what to do.
And thank God hears and God does.
Yes. At times even friends, you can talk to them, and also your friend is also going through a situation.
True.
They may not know how to go about it, you know. But now when you reach out, platform are there. If you go to social media, we are there. Someone is there to attend instantly.
Alright. Now I come to this. I've been observing a lot of things. That's why from an observation point of view.
Yes.
Now there is this aspect of maybe somebody is talking too much or has started to or maybe has decided to open up. There is this part of the society that is judgmental. Why is this person opening up? Maybe hata ameona kwa TV ameanza kuongea, ameanza mbona anaongea, like mbona ana expose mambo, you see? And there is this side of the society that is judgmental. There is this society that now later when things escalate, if this person did not talk, maybe worse could have happened later. That is when now everything is in all TVs and everywhere else. Oh, alifanya because alinyamaza. Na kiongea tena, it's an issue to the society. There is this society that is accepting watu waonge. There is this society ambayo kuongea sana si vizuri especially saying men keep quiet with issues. Si kweli? Men keep quiet with issues because the society itasema aje. But the same men who are keeping quiet, later you will see mtu amefanya kitu. Now the society is talking. Alifanya hivi. Now, as per the society, now I come to you also and to the panel. What do we do at this juncture where there is a society that is ready for you to talk, and there is this other society that views things like hufai ku expose mambo, you know, atukitafuta solution, hapana, ni vizuri kukanyangia. But there is this part of now the person who is now suffering, akiongea anaweza saidika. Kuna mwingine akiongea zinaenda viral you know, maybe kuna aibu ama something as per, you know, impose stigma. There is this person ambaye sasa maybe akinyamazia later unapata vitu zililipuka. Sasa watu wanaona you know what happened later, they are like mbona alifanya hivyo. They are judging the person not knowing shida ilianza kitambo. This person maybe you told maybe for you will say people should talk, which is true. We know people should talk, but if there, I know there would be maybe another panel of ni vizuri kufunika, especially marital issues, relationship. Vitu kama hizo mambo, you know, unapata mtu wanachapa, wengine wa mama wananyamaza tu. Unapatana na yeye akona shida kwa jicho ni black, anakuambia aligongwa na mlango. Na anakuambia ile vita ameweka hiyo siku. Na bado wako tu hapo, you know. So there are these things, the society, the victim, the society, and the outcome.
Okay.
Juggle around that, and that you're like, no, there is this outcome of mwenye amenyamaza lakini amefanya kitu mbaya. Kuna mwingine ameongea, either amepata solution ama ameenda na the stigma now part comes in.
Okay. Let me, before I bring in Margaret, I wish to mention something. There's this concept of walking in your shoes. Walking in your shoes means sometimes it's very hard to fit in your shoes. That means the level of or the intensity of the problem in your life might be very difficult for you to deal with. So, but I try to imagine myself, if I expose whatever the conversation I've had with any one of you online, it will have an impact on that person's life. Isn't it? Look at the self-esteem, look at the self-image, all those. However, how would I feel if the same thing happened to me? You imagine yourself and try and become empathetic to people. You know, if it's my brother, because this person has a brother, has a sister, it's a mother, a father to someone, daughter, son. You know, how would I feel if I find myself in this situation? And now when it comes to now, who are you opening up to? You know,
very true.
I like sometimes my wife, she tells me, siendi ku open up just to table banking or mama chama.
Yeah.
Nowadays we have trained counselors,
True.
psychologists,
Very true.
clinical psychologists,
Very
and they're all over.
True.
So we encourage you to reach out for professionals. Because
Exactly.
professionals are
Yes.
trained
Yes.
to handle such issues.
True.
It's just like when you have an illness.
Yes.
Uendi pale nje unaambia mtu nipase
Kweli.
dawa.
Very
Isn't
true.
it?
Very
So equally with mental health,
Yes.
we're not saying that you should not speak up to
True.
family members.
Yes.
However,
Yeah.
reach out to professionals
Very
who can
true.
professionally
Yes.
be able to handle the case. For example, depression,
Exactly.
anxiety,
Yes.
and any other.
Yes.
I'm letting Marin to come in because I cut her short.
Yes.
Nice, okay. Thank you, Samuel. Actually, you have said it, I will summarize.
Mm.
MJ,
Yes.
I want our viewers to understand
Yes.
one thing,
Yes.
and I want to bring it into our context.
Yes.
As Africans, I see
Mm.
everyone on this panel is an African. However,
Yes.
as if our facility is actually international, we deal with
Exactly.
both local
Yes. Yeah.
and international.
And I believe the things we are talking, that's why Kiatek is here to
Cover
cover
them.
all.
Yes.
Exactly.
True.
Mm.
So let's look at the origin of
Yeah.
why that question.
Yeah.
Why do we have a divided society
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
people A will say
Yeah.
it is okay,
Yes.
people B will say it is not okay.
Mm.
Mostly it comes from our cultural influences.
Mm.
There were the taboos,
Yeah.
the do's,
Yeah.
the don'ts,
Yeah.
the shoulds,
Yeah.
the musts,
Mm.
the mustn'ts,
Mm.
yes, and all
Yes.
those things.
Yes.
Mhm.
So as Africa, recently I think post-COVID, that's
Yeah.
when we started coming up
True.
slowly by slowly.
Very true.
I believe Madam Jane will share later on the struggle that has been there previously. Kiatek being 10 years old now.
Mhm.
Back then, how it was even getting to clientele, and right now, how the society has also changed
Yeah.
gradually.
Mm.
I would say that as Africa, in our position in mental health, we've not been there yet,
Mm.
but I'm proud to say that we are getting there.
Mhm.
And one of the things is let's now come back to our country and our ethnic communities and all those things. Based on even what Sam was saying, gender roles and all that. Every person, every human being undergoes experiences, good and bad.
Mm.
Sometimes it is death, like it was in your case, the aspect of loss and grief,
Yes.
and that was very overwhelming to you.
Yeah.
For someone, we all have different ways of
Yeah.
dealing with these things.
Mm.
Somebody else will undergo a traumatic experience.
Very
For
true,
example,
very true.
in our country, we've had times when we've had terrorist attacks,
Yeah.
like Al-Shabaab.
Mm.
Remember that time they went and killed students in a university? Do you know, by the way, there are survivors from that incident? How do you expect that person to pick
It's
up
really not easy.
from that they were, you
Yeah.
know? Let's go to what you're talking about. There are issues to do with gender-based violence. Perhaps your husband gets to beat you. Partners, nowadays you're seeing even people in university, like someone was killed. The other day I heard of an incident along Thika Road where a lady was found dead in the house for 3 days.
Yeah.
A boyfriend's house because of, I think, is it a love triangle or something of that sort?
Yeah.
That's how is it now for the parents? Such kinds of incidences.
Yeah.
For some other people, talk about mental health and especially the onset of these problems. We have the genetic part of it,
Yeah.
and it's not very knowledgeable. Like I said previously, our education system hadn't embraced that. It
Yeah.
has not been in the curriculum in the lower
Yes,
levels.
yes.
And some will attest here, the onset of these mental health problems most of the time is from the age of 14. And what is usually happening to somebody at the age of 14? You are now, you're getting into puberty and adolescence. It is a very confusing phase in life because I'm seeing changes in my body and I'm wondering what is going on. On the other sense, that's the sense maybe you're going to high school, and high school you're going to meet a different community because mostly in our country, in primary school, people will go mostly to local schools within the home where I know someone, maybe I know his family, the teachers will go to the same church or something. There's that sense of community. When it comes maybe when you go to high school, you're now exposed to a different environment with different people from different cultures actually, and ethnic backgrounds and all that kind of thing. Then there's now education in itself is overwhelming. There's so much that is going on, and remember now with the changes in your body, we call that a state of identity versus role confusion.
Yes.
Because that's when now you start to identify my purpose. Who am I?
Yes.
Who am I really? And in that phase, peer influence is really high because everyone everyone is struggling to fit in somewhere. You're trying to see, do I fit in here? Do I fit in there? You see,
True.
and the group that I will get acquainted to is mostly where I will start behaving in the manner that they do. How they express their emotions is how I will do. If I join this group here, and how we do is we smoke, we drink, these are the things we do, I am likely to become part of that. If I get to this other culture of Kina Samuel here, where we talk about our problems, we are obedient, we study hard, that is what is going to happen to me. So we have to understand that first of all, it is also based on our milestones and our exposure. Currently, we are doing well as a country, and I hope that CBC is also going to include that. There are basic things that we need to learn about ourselves. How I am looking at this, I want to change the angle of the discussion a little bit. From how do you, the viewer, get to identify when somebody else has a problem? I would like us to approach it from how do I know that I am not okay?
Exactly.
Because once I understand myself,
Yes.
it will be easier to understand the other
Very
person.
true. Very true.
I cannot give what I do not have.
Very true.
And once I am empowered myself, then it means the next time Jen has a problem, I can easily accommodate her.
Very true.
I can easily accommodate her
Very
because of
true.
what Sam is talking about, empathy,
Yeah.
putting myself in her shoes.
Yeah.
Because if we approach it from ule akona ile shida, you remember back in the day in Africa, there were things like excommunication from communities when maybe you had a certain disease, a certain condition, but now times have changed and we are getting knowledgeable, including this platform. It's a very healthy platform.
And also even now, there's somebody who's watching who's struggling with something. It's not even about now a person they know,
Exactly, but they themselves, because we are all going through something.
Yeah.
What we need to understand is what creates the difference is our coping skills, our coping mechanisms. Vile mimi nitaenda kudeal na hii stress ama hii kitu inanisumbua na vile Sam anaenda kudeal nayo, hapo sasa ndio we draw the line. So I will encourage our viewers and also everyone on this panel to adapt to what we call the healthy coping mechanisms. I will start by saying and echo what you said, personalities. There are different types of personalities. Dear viewer, you can go online, you can find a 5-minute personality test. You can even check our website at www.caretech.com. We have one there. You can check it out. It's very fast. You will be able to get a result and understand what is my personality, who am I, and who am I has an influence on how you think, how you feel, how you behave. And that is answer to your question number one. Why society says A, society says B. One, lack of knowledge. And lack of knowledge now brings about the problem. Yes, now we first get the awareness. Who am I? Because this person who keeps quiet, the introvert, is not very comfortable really expressing verbally. And so there are other ways of dealing with this problem. Some, I would like us to talk to our viewers about healthy coping mechanisms when we are going through situations. And by the way, a situation doesn't have to be very severe, like that it's a divorce happening. It could be just a day-to-day challenge, like you argued with your friend, you're experiencing heightened levels of anger. How do I deal with my anger?
Or that weighed you down.
And that weighed you down. You went for an interview, lost the opportunity. Or you're trying a business and there's no breakthrough. Or let me also bring about like the post-COVID-19. COVID-19 came with a lot of influences all over the world. Some businesses went down, some families lost their loved ones, and I don't think it's business as usual everywhere in different academically the students. By the way, some can attest. Recently, even when we do the students here at CareTech, one of the things we do is that during holidays we have families bringing in their children for the adolescent counseling, and we help them navigate through the issues they experience at school. Most of them will tell you that that imbalance in the change of the system really affected them, because kumekuwa na a lot of kurudi kusoma vitu mingi sana. There's a lot, the expectations, your parents are telling you maisha ni ngumu, you need to do this. It's very confusing. So let's talk about some of the ways in which you deal with stress or you cope with issues that come to you on a day-to-day basis. And I will just mention 3 and then I will leave the rest to Sam to come up. But before Sam will do this, I think we can hear from Madam Jane. How do you cope with stress? How do you cope with distress?
And
in
also,
your life.
yes, and also I pose another question for you. Now you go deep into now caretaker, how you welcome or even admit people here, the kind of people that you have here, the addicted ones, or is it a mental, is it the type of people that come in here, and how you handle them. By the time now you take them to Mariam take care of this, and Samuel take care of this.
Yeah.
Now the caliber or the type of people that come in here, because you have them already, and those who have left are having completed everything, and now they are normal, they are okay.
It's okay.
Now you combine with what Marion has asked you.
Okay, thank you so much once again. Here on admission, for example, when we deal with people with alcohol issues, drug issues, or mental health illness, an example being depression, the process of admission, it's we are 24 hours open. We have a counselor on duty during the day, or any other psychologist can be of any help. At night we have a nurse on duty. So during the process of admission, any of them can handle any situation of any kind. And we have a psychiatric who have to see a patient during the time of admission, or rather during the week that the patient have been admitted. We also have a finance guy or admission guy who also deals with accounting part of it in the course of the day or within the course of the week. So our admission process is very easy. Handing over to Mario. From there, the case manager takes over, assign the counselor to a patient to the counselor, and someone can take over from there.
So we, in essence, she's saying we have a very integrated and a holistic approach of treatment, because not everyone has different unique needs. So there's no single approach in the world which has been proven to cater for the needs of everyone.
Very true.
So we embrace that in different aspects. So that's where Caretech has invested into the human capital. We have an ecosystem of, as Madam Jane has said, counselor, psychologist, clinical officer, psychiatrist, lab technologists, nurses, so that we have a multidisciplinary team that can be able to guide on every case. So that, therefore, once you've been admitted, you are, I am the one who is in charge of that. I'm able to assign a case manager or a counselor in this case who will be able to handle the one individually your case. Of course, we also have the group session, we have the life skills training. All that comes as a package for the inpatient facility. We also have the outpatient, intensive outpatient program. Some people would call it matrix. For those people, of course, who might not need a residential program. So that is also catered for. Yes.
Okay. Wow, that is very good. And so far so good. At least there's a number of people who have come to Caretech and came out better and you know, better than the way they came, refreshed. Because I believe from an addiction, somebody coming out of the gate of the Caretech gate, they will just feel refreshed. All the you know, everything they were carrying, everything that was overwhelming them was weighing them. It's just over. They are ready to go out there and catch up with life where they left when they were sober. And we are grateful that Caretech is there to take care of that. And at least, Madam Jane, whatever happened to your brother, of course we say sorry, but that made you, or it was like a catalyst to make sure that Caretech is there, to make sure that
the family don't go through this.
exactly. And now not only the family, but now your family, but also you have affected many people from all corners, different counties, and that is giving back to the society, and that is making the world better. Not even the society, but the world better. I don't know whether you have a word for the viewer as we come to almost an end of our show today, and also to Marion and to Samuel, because, and from a professional perspective, because I know that right now there's somebody who is watching, maybe has an issue, and they'll be calling in the number, and how can somebody get to this place that is Caretaker, because that is where we are today. And not only that, how do they reach out? The number, if it's an email, if it is WhatsApp, if it is Facebook, how can they reach out? Now from MD or the director's perspective or the CEO, and then from now the clinical perspective and the psychological perspective, and also over to you, Samuel. The maybe the parting short words that you can have for the viewer and the friend and the relative of the viewer. Yes, because there is a viewer and there is a viewer who will fetch the relative or the friend or the person they know, maybe they live with, and identify. I've been able to identify, maybe have an issue or I don't have, but I know someone. Now talk to the viewer and the other circle of the viewer. Yeah, as far as Caretaker is concerned. Yes.
Thank you again, MJ,
Yes.
for this opportunity. I would love to say that we have shared enough for the day,
Yeah.
and I hope our viewers have really interacted with us, engaged with us, and
Yeah.
got involved with us.
Yeah.
I would love to say that Caretaker, we are there to help.
Yes.
Don't shy up, don't shy from this journey, because addiction is a disease like
Yeah.
any other, and we are there to guide you.
Yes.
You can always come to Caretaker for any assistance. As you can see, we have a beautiful team here, supportive,
Yes.
and people who can give you any guidance you need during the journey you require it.
Yeah.
Our contact details are 0720 419 440. That's our office number. My direct number is 0720 419 499. Our email address are info@caretakemedical.com or caretakemedical@gmail.com. Marion will share the list of our Facebook and Twitter accounts.
The social media.
All right.
Yes.
Once again,
Yes.
thank you, MJ, for this forum.
Yes.
Clearly, you can see this is a discussion we can have
Yes.
for a very long time.
True.
Mental health is very interesting.
Very.
I wish my message to the viewers is that one, it is okay not to be okay. When it comes to mental health, it doesn't choose, and these problems, they don't get to choose anyone. They don't choose the family they will get to. They don't get to choose the gender. So boy child, like some was saying, come out, females, let's all come out. Doesn't get to choose careers, religion or whatever.
Yeah.
This, I'm saying that it can affect everyone, including myself. So don't be shy. It's okay not to be okay. Thank you very much. You can check us on our socials at Caretaker Medical all over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Yes, and my final message is that as Caretaker, we actually embrace that this is a disease that affects the whole family and the whole society. Part of our program is we get to do family therapy so that we get to recover together. Thank you very much.
Wow.
That's
Very
the
welcome.
best.
It's not. It's okay not to be okay.
Yes.
You got that? It's okay not to be okay.
Thank you for this time and also for our viewers for taking your time, for purposing and creating time to watch and listen to us.
Yes.
My parting shot will be, you're not alone.
Wow.
You're never alone. Help is on the way.
Yes.
I want to encourage that person who is feeling defeated, feeling low, sad and wondering what to do. My brother, my sister, and maybe my dad, my mom watching, my granny, you don't have to suffer alone. Help is available. As you can hear, we are available.
Yeah.
Mimi ni jamaa mtaani. I'm available. We on socials.
Yes.
Information is out there.
Yeah.
So you don't have to suffer the eternal battles alone. And that's why Caretaker, as part of, maybe I've seen a message from someone popping in my phone asking, do you have, how can I pay for these services?
Yeah.
Caretaker will be, we on pan list of majority of insurance. One of them is NHF.
Yes.
We have CIC and a couple of others. I might not be able to mention because of time.
Yeah.
But you can talk to your insurance about about it, then they can be able to advise us.
Yeah.
Or you can even call us
We call in and inquire.
so that you inquire more
Yeah.
about this information.
Mhm.
We are available 24/7
Mhm.
on our helpline. There's
Yeah.
someone to attend,
Mhm.
but always remember
Mhm.
you're not alone.
Wow.
There's hope, freedom
Yes.
from addiction.
Wow. Wow. That's a good parting shot. And the hope or help is on the way, and you're not alone. That is very good. Thank you, Samuel, for being my guest today and being on the panel today. Thank you, Marion,
You're welcome.
for being my guest today and being on the panel today. Madam Jane, thank you so much for being my guest today. And of course, to you, I'm your guest. To me, you are my guest. And now we team up and become a panel.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was enjoyable. It was nice having you, and of course the discussion. In fact, we cannot stand and say, or even say that we have come to an end of discussing mental health awareness.
Yes.
It is so broad. It is wider than what we have tackled. But I believe we have preempted. We have at least tackled 1, 2, 3 things, as Madam Jane said, and I know the viewer has grasped something out of it. And I know we might not come to an end to say, hey, tumeongea mambo ya mental health yote imeisha. I know you're loaded. I know you're loaded. I know you're loaded. Because of course this is a field you've been there for a long time.
Yes.
You have interacted with so many people ambao wamepitia kwa mikono yako na umeongelesha ni wengi sana. And out of now books kenye umesomea bado you have a lot to say. But for now, we part short with the few words that they have parted short with until another time, because I still believe, because as per the questions, I know the questions will be flowing, and of course I'll forward the questions. You'll be answering the questions later. I'll make sure the questions that you'll be asking, I will make sure that they are answered. And because Minister Jibu, they are here to answer you every kind of question. Be it mental.
Let me answer. There's
Yes.
one question from the previous show
Yes.
that was asked numerously by
Yes.
many people,
Yes.
and I felt it to be injustice. If
Not
you
to
leave it hanging,
Yes.
and the question is, how do I support my loved one who was an addiction problem?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I kept on telling Marion, I think this is a very important question.
True.
Maybe to give it a minute.
Yeah.
So that we don't eat so much on your time, I would say,
okay.
CareTech, we have a family support program that happens once a month.
Yeah.
Maybe you can check out, the information will be out there in the socials.
Mm.
You can attend and come and learn more about it,
Yeah.
on how you can support your loved one,
Mhm.
either who is struggling with
Yeah.
or who has just left rehab.
Yeah.
That you can get more information. We say awareness is healing,
True.
you know.
Yeah.
So once you have that awareness, you can know how to go about it. And thank you very much for
Yeah.
allowing that minute.
Yeah. And can we say, as we part short, that it's good even for these people to show love to these people?
Yes.
Can love win?
Yes.
We say love wins. If you show love, there is a way you will utawavuta and they'll feel like they belong. And because we will not expound much on that, but I also say to the society, just show love, be kind to one another. If you realize that somebody has an issue, just don't keep quiet. Find help for them. Help them to find help. And let's show love and be kind to one another. If you see an issue with somebody and maybe unaona hapa kuna kashida, mtu amebadilika, don't judge them. Don't be judgmental. Don't judge them. Make sure you show love. Be kind to them. Care for them, and then forward them to the people, especially like CareTech. They are professionals. They are able to handle that. Make sure that you who knows that they need help, make sure that you find help for them. That is through that is showing love. And when we show love to the society, then we are in a better place. The society and the world can be better, a better place. You know, things can move and even go around better than things were yesterday. And because unaambiwa upende neighbor, kama vile unajipenda. So if you don't love yourself, you cannot extend the love to the neighbor. But if you love yourself, you are able to extend the same love. When you extend love, you are able to realize this person is not okay because of the love, just the love of God. Una make sure amesaidika. So don't let somebody akae tu hivyo na hana msaada. Make sure there is a way that you maybe unaweza mtafutia msaada na anaweza saidika. Thank you so much for watching the workshop with MJ. Don't forget to subscribe and like, share, comment, and make sure you let another person know of the discussion of today that is mental health awareness, and of course addiction, because I believe this is something that is affecting the society and we cannot deny that. That is the truth, and we need to help each other. For those on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Mary Joseph Music, and the workshop is ongoing. MJ being the host, it's a pleasure.